My first guest tonight is an Oscar-winning documentarian you know from Roger and Me, Bowling for Columbine, and Fahrenheit 9/11. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Michael Moore.
Wow.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
How have you been, Michael Moore?
Well, it's what can I say? It's a great time to be an American.
It is. It is a great time to be an American,
right?
because we're the ones who are responsible for this, and we've got to do something.
And we are going to do something, and now it's time. We have to sort of prove our mettle here. And look, we're in deep trouble here.
Well, you have a new film about the trouble that we're in. What's the name of the film?
I'm finishing the film right now.
Okay.
It'll be out September 21st. And thank you. And it's called Fahrenheit 11/9, the night he was announced as president of the United States.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
are there any surprises in this? I mean, what are you covering? Because Fahrenheit 9/11 certainly was about what we knew in the lead up, what the Bush administration's response was, the push toward war. What is this about?
This is about how the hell we got in this situation and how we're going to get out of it.
Politically, or about, like, do you deal with collusion, or can you tell us anything about what?
I can't reveal too much right now. We're in the final edit of the film.
Okay.
And
you have a clip here, though.
There are some things. You're going to see things you have not seen. How about I just put it that way?
Okay.
And yes, I brought just a small piece of footage from the edit room, which actually is across the street.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if can we roll that, and I'll just share you.
Sure. Do you want to tell us anything about what it is?
I think it'll be self-explanatory.
Okay. Jim, hit it.
Hey, Michael Moore.
How are you, sir?
We're just in the area shooting my next film.
Okay.
And I thought I'd check out the Southern White House. Secret Service sent me down here. I want to go up and talk to Donald Trump. Can I ask? If you just tell him it's me.
I know.
What side?
Did they not let you in?
I was in there for a total of 11 and a half minutes.
Did they forcibly toss you out?
No, they're not able to do that with me. So,
Michael Moore, were you civil?
I am as civil as any Eagle Scout Catholic altar boy could be when confronted with the devil.
Well, you got to give the devil his due. You got to give the devil his due. The devil, benefit of law. But, okay, so what do you make of these calls for civility? Do you think that
the calls,
confronting people, say, in restaurants,
the calls that are coming from the uncivil, asking Democrats who are usually so wimpy and weak and, no, it's okay, you know, we'll take half of universal health care. We don't need the whole thing. You know, that's how our side sounds all the time. We're constantly giving in, and then a few people want to stand up and say, no, I've had enough. That's it. And we don't have to be violent. We have to remain nonviolent, but, you know, if the worst that's going to happen to anybody in the Trump administration is that they don't get to have a chicken dinner in Virginia, I mean, I don't know. Listen, seriously, if it were just that we had these differences, I don't think it's right to throw Sarah Sanders out of the restaurant because I disagree with her politically. If I see her come into my movie, I'm not going to say you can't see my movie. But that's not what's going on right now. We're not talking about political differences. We're talking about thousands of children being kidnapped from their parents and put in jails. And the headline, I don't know if you saw it while you were in line for the show here tonight, but they have ruled now that toddlers must appear in these immigration courts alone. They cannot have an advocate or a lawyer, anybody with them. They could bring in the 3-, 4-, and 5-year-old, and they have to stand there alone in the docket. This is insanity. This is not who we are, is it? No, it's not. This has to stop. We have a sick individual in the White House who he's constantly referring to himself. Always refers to himself in the Third Reich.
Okay, but where does this go? Where does this go? What is on the other side of this? Because I know that it's like basically 35% of the electorate has 51% of the power right now, and we've got a gerrymandered Congress because of the Electoral College, essentially a gerrymandered presidency, and therefore you end up with a gerrymandered Supreme Court. What is the end game here? Because you don't want to end this in anything violent or some sort of really revolutionary confrontation. You want a political change at the end of this. Do you have any hope for that? Because you have to hold out hope for that. You can't actually...
I couldn't come on this show here if I didn't have hope. But let me ask you a personal question. Is that okay?
We'll find out.
All right. I just want to ask you a personal question, if it's okay. When you read the paper every day or you watch the news, do you ever cry? I mean, do you ever tear up? Does this ever happen to you these days?
Sure, of course.
It's right. It happens to me now every day.
It will happen as soon as the show's over and I find out more about the shooting in Annapolis. I'm sure it'll happen again.
Exactly. That has become the norm now.
Yes.
When we all made Bowling for Columbine, it had never happened before, and we made that film in the hopes that it wouldn't happen anymore. And so the despair that I have in going forward and making these movies is, when are people going to get off the couch, and when are we going to rise up? And I'm telling you, folks, to answer your question, the end game, sadly, is going to be Trump is not going to leave. He plans to be reelected. He loves the term president for life. The only way that we're going to stop this is eventually we're all going to have to put our bodies on the line. You're going to have to be willing to do this. When I see those children down in Brownsville, I don't see them as somebody else's children. I see them as my children. Those are my children. Now, and
don't despair.
Because no,
you said despair. You say you despair.
I despair, but
despair is for those who see all ends. Okay, and
yes,
we don't know. We don't know.
And I do know that if people will rise up, because what would you do, each of you in the audience, if they snatched your child from you? And put that in how would you respond to that? That's how we all have to start responding. And you speak of Christianity, this so-called Christian country, it's a majority of Christian country. If we actually start acting that way, if we start acting the way we were taught in Catholic school or in Bible school, wherever you went, we will have a better country. But not until then. And you know, I keep doing this, Stephen, because I think that there is a chance, but I don't want to hold out false hope anymore. I want to go here. Let me just end with this positive note, that I believe that I know, in fact, the facts. We, if I can call you we.
We'll see. We'll see. Depends on what you say.
It's going to be a new Supreme Court, so we may not be able to be a we.
Okay. All right.
But I'm just saying that the majority of Americans are very liberal. They take the liberal position on most issues. They believe women should be paid the same as men. They believe that there's climate change. Go down the list. They don't believe people should be thrown in jail for smoking marijuana. Go down the list. The majority of our fellow Americans are liberal, and we, the Democrats, have won the presidency, the popular vote, in 6 of the last 7 presidential elections. The Republicans have only won once since 1988, in 2004 with Bush. That's the only time they've won the popular vote. The country we live in doesn't want the Republicans in the White House. They don't want them running this country. We're the majority. We're the majority. And I don't know, on that positive note...
Electoral College.
Electoral College.
Electoral College.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it, Democrats.
Fahrenheit 11/9 is in theaters September 21st. Michael Moore, everybody. We'll be right back with Eric Andre and Derek Beckles.